Point me in the direction of the enemy.
How long did this come after the Nagant arc? I think it would be like a month at most, probably, because the pacing on this is really weird for some reason. Yeah, so there wouldn't have been a lot of time to exactly prepare her to join the side, so she actually, yeah, okay. I feel like she is missing context to the point that I don't know how she knows there's even really a fight happening, but like the doctors had to have told her for her to really know anything. I don't know if this is a thing most people do, but sometimes if there's a show that I'm really engaged with or have been really engaged with in the past, I will often like fantasize about ways they could have handled moments differently or ways they can handle things in the future. In the past few days, that was happening with this show and with however Shigaraki is beaten in the end. Because I feel like Class 1A coming together to beat him and not just Deku would be impactful. God, I can't think when I'm listening to this. But what I was saying is that the idea that at some point Shigaraki is falling from the air, and once he gets to the ground, he's going to decay the area around him and kill everyone there, pretty much. And right before he lands on the ground, Uraraka slaps him, just like back in the first season when she did that to save Deku. There is definitely ways Class 1A can matter in a fight against Shigaraki and All for One. Honestly, I feel like they're not gonna do it, though. Because this show has given me no reason to believe that they will. Obviously, Class 1B has been almost completely gone this entire time. We've seen Mushroom Girl and Monoma, that's it. But then for Class 1A, Froppy, Uraraka, Ida, Shota, Shoji, and Koda we've all seen. Mina showed up very briefly right at the start. Aoyama showed up very briefly right at the start. Bakugo and Midoriya have obviously been fighting. Tokoyami and Jiro have been involved a bit. But Sero, Hagakure, Mineta, and Momo has been in the support. Denki has been in support. But then Tailman, Kirishima, Sato, Sero, and Hagakure, and Mineta have all just never shown up. To my memory, they have not appeared a single time so far. And those that have were so long ago that it doesn't matter. And with some of them, like, I get it. Sero and Sato are arguably the first characters that should have been cut from the story. They add nothing. They have done nothing over the course of the story. Sero is only relevant because of Black Whip. Mineta has so much potential with his power, but instead of doing anything with that, they just focus on him being a pervert. Because he could absolutely do so fucking much with his power. Like, I feel like with the Twice army, he could be doing a lot right now. Aoyama and Mina, we haven't seen the entire war pretty much, and they could be doing a lot. Aoyama, I don't even know if he's really involved in the war. Ojiro and Hagakure are characters that I wish were more interesting, because I think they're cool, but they just never fucking do anything. Especially after Hagakure almost got like the slightest bit of development as a character for the first time in the entire series. And like, Kirishima has been a major figure throughout the story. He's the one that's the weirdest on this entire thing. I think he was in the same area with Mina, so that's why he hasn't shown up. But like, I would say he and Asui are probably about on the same level of importance over the course of the story. Maybe more. Asui is only really important in Season 1. I would say at this point, he and Ida are probably pretty comparable in terms of development and screen time. So it's kind of weird that he hasn't shown up for this entire war. And with this show's focus on characters, like, not utilizing them well is such a blow to the show. It makes it worse.
Piece of gutter trash!
Eventually, we started to merge. I became a piece of you.
Glad they're finally doing this. What the fuck is this song called? Also, it's really weird that they're using it. That's so distracting. It's so rare for anime in particular, I feel, to use like pre-existing music, especially of this kind. It fits the moment, but it's so weird. Also, that was a very weird moment from All for One. He does not get openly angry easily. That was really interesting, and I wish they did more with that kind of concept. Because, like, when someone stops being useful, he tries to kill them. So he hasn't really had a chance to be betrayed in many meaningful ways. Aoyama did, but All For One was kind of already working on stuff at that point. So it pretty much just escalated the conflict instead of outright hurting his chances in any way. Yeah, it's very weird seeing him get openly angry like that. I'm also glad Shigaraki is finally being a character again.
Warp me to All For One immediately, damn it!
I will protect Shigaraki. No. Who? He's... Where? She... My friends.
Oh, I thought he was conflicted because he was hearing All For One and Shigaraki.
Hold on just a tiny bit longer, Gentle. I should have my new flight program operational real soon.
I wasn't able to get a proper look, but I'm fairly...
The flight program is what broke, not the flight system? Is that how science works?
certain that was the lad. Today, it's just me and the joy coursing through my veins.
Just the act of heroism. Or
By Jove,
maybe
cameras,
not.
an audience.
Maybe not.
Dangerous!
Shut up and let me film!
Such verve.
We're doing the best we can,
Okay.
too! Japan's in pieces, and Endeavor is being held
Tax
responsible
thief.
for that.
The whole world needs to see how heroic my beloved Gentle is being today. He may not care, but he's going to get the credit he deserves.
Tsukuchi's fucking panicking.
Heroes.
Right.
I will annihilate you.
Got a twice army to deal with. Oh shit!
Oh, did he just...
That would be best for Shigaraki.
Why didn't you do?
Whatever his intentions. all
Use
we can
telepathy
do is
for
keep
this.
fighting.
He's right next to
Knowing
you.
that everyone will-
You still don't see how strongly the wind blows in my favor.
Oh, jeez. I was flying so fast.
Whoa, big yikes. Like that
Oh.
was close. Hux is a total Riz cake. You can't unalive that snack. I'd enter my grief era.
Oh my god! People are gonna be so fucking mad about that. But that's literally how she talks. She's not supposed to be like the smart one here. She's supposed to be fucking nonsensical. Granted, in her introduction, she used more 90s slang. That made this entire season worth it.
Whoa, big yikes. Like that was for realsies close. Hux is a total Riz cake. You can't unalive that snack. I'd enter my grief era.
We were sent as an auxiliary defense force to receive the evacuees from UA.
Why were Class 1A students on the front line when these guys who are more trained weren't? What? I am never going to get over that fucking line. Oh my god. Whoever's in charge of dubbing this, I love you. And by the way, in case you think that is the dumbest thing that voice actress has ever said, She was in Ghost Stories. Guess who she played?
Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Yeah, it is not that woman's first time with the most nonsensical fucking lines you've ever heard. Absolute cinema!
You okay, Hawks?
Who's firing bullets?
You're ignorant to the way the world trembled before he became a symbol. It was an era of impenetrable darkness. The fear was debilitating. There was no sure safety for anyone.
All Might became a symbol, like, 30 years ago. This has always been a criticism I've had with this show. The idea that prior to All Might, everything was just shit. And nowadays, no one remembers that. Unless All Might is like 120, which, like, come on, so many people would remember this. There is no reason they wouldn't, unless, like, the entire world got Men in Blacked. What exactly is that quirk? What's the black lightning?
They're looking beyond me. Still full of hope and light. He won't get too close, though. He fears that I'll steal his quirk. Enough of this! You naive fools are going...
Oh, we're in the dark, bitch!
Darkness comes in many forms. You have no right to speak of it. Don't forget the era of darkness you ruled is one that we've devoured. Clouds gathered after as you attacked. Out the light. Touching his fire isn't touching him. Do you see? This is why I was chosen to support these.
Oh. Oh.
Shadow! Total release! Didn't you, Tokoyami?
Okay, Hawks, you might want to back up.
How about I give you a tailwind?
Hawks, this is no longer your fight. Yeah, just tear through it.
Light of Baldur!
This dude really loves his Norse mythology. That might have been the best episode in a long time. Oh, that was probably the least criticism I've had with this show since I learned about the ending. That shit went hard. Revelry in the fucking dark. Oh, we got a post-credit scene. Okay, I didn't see that.
Moments ago, when the battle turned,
Gave her exactly what she needed to obliterate this country.
not true.
Oh! Right!
If she had turned into Overone or Dobby and started
Yeah.
doubles of them, it would have been over for us.
I forgot about
What
that.
happened,
And with the amount of
Twice
them
created clones that were
here.
able to use the powers of the people they look
Uh-huh.
like.
And with the amount of them here, they can
Based on
cover
what
it up.
Gravity told us, when Himiko transforms, she can only use a person's quirk if she likes them. Maybe it's a matter of compatibility. Whatever the issue, from what I can tell, the clones she's creating as Twice can't use any quirks besides double.
Sad man's parade. Let's turn his torment into grief for our enemies.
Isn't it kind of weird that she doesn't like Dobby? Like, she likes people who are completely beaten up. Fucking look at him. Is it really just the blood? It might be, given her quirk, but yeah. I'm pretty sure he bleeds from that skin, so, like, even still.
Even though I love them, what's the matter with me? I'll annihilate the heroes! But Jean was able to do it! Why can't I become Jean?
What?
Why can't I become Jean?
I'm gonna assume that's metaphorical. As in, she can't become Jean in the regards to him caring about the others. Because if she meant she actually isn't becoming Jean, that doesn't make any sense. She's currently using his quirk. I don't like that they repeated part of One for All and Hawk's conversation. Well, not One for All for One. I don't like that they repeated part of that conversation, but I like that they gave a significant amount of focus to the fact that Toga wasn't copying the rest of them just twice. Because there's a lot happening. It's a little hard to keep track of everything currently happening and think about everything that has happened and what can happen. So I'm glad that they directly address it. Yeah, it wasn't perfect by any means, but it was by far the most I've enjoyed this show in a long time. Tokoyami has always been one of the side characters that I've wanted to see more of. I think that's true for almost everyone. His power, when at full strength, is arguably the coolest one in the show. And because of how rare it is to see it at full power, it's one of the hypest. Yeah, we have seen it at full power once in this show so far. And that was the Season 3 arc with the villains. That's the only time we've ever seen him at full power. And since then, he's grown a lot and has learned to use it in other ways, but like, we still haven't seen it at full power. This is the second time in over 150 episodes. And Kami's dialogue was the pinnacle of human achievement. I'm certain plenty of people are going to watch that and just be disgusted by it. You all hate fun, and you were way worse when you were a kid. Seeing millennials and some of the older Gen Z people look at young Gen Z and Gen Alpha stuff with disgust right now, I find that hilarious. Y'all remember Nyan Cat? Are we gonna act like that was some coherent piece of art? What about Harlem Shake, Gangnam Style, Whippin' Nae? Do you know the way? Like, come on, people. We were not better than them. And I feel like entire words being part of the brain rot makes it way better than just the concept or the phrase. Because, like, with Ugandan Knuckles, like, it was just, do you know the way? That was it. Any version of the meme was just repeating that, or maybe using the accent with other words, and like my queen or something. That was all that was. You can't really use that in any other context. With this, she combined like 6 different brain rot terms into one sentence. It was art! And I think the funniest part is back in Season 4 when she was actually introduced, and she used very outdated slang. I honestly felt that it sounded more weird. This felt so much more natural, in my opinion. Because stay fresh is not a wild term that confuses people. Her introduction, everyone was confused by her, though. That dialogue, people would absolutely be confused. Oh, God, that was amazing. Yeah, I mean, Shigaraki coming back, the fact that the battle switched in any meaningful way, Kami's dialogue, Tokoyami going all out, All For One getting legit fucking scared of him. Like, that was so good. Let's hope the momentum continues for this next one. The preview, which I did see a little of, we saw Mina, so finally getting back to that. Only been like 10 episodes. Most of the Paranormal Liberation War happened in the time it took to get back to Mina. And another thing that made last episode good, that was the best I think Toga's ever been written. Throughout the show, she's been yandere waifu bait, objectively. Compare how she looks to how the other villains look. You got this, Tomura, whose face is like melting off of him, same with Dabi. You got Spinner, who you're only into if you're into scalies. Out of the big villains of the show, she's the only one who's conventionally attractive. Yeah, Toga just being yandere waifu bait has kind of made her character not interesting for me, ever. The obsession with love doesn't make it better. That doesn't make her character interesting, I would say.
Keep him preoccupied as long as you can! I doubt any of us
just fucking kill him.
He is now.
Yeah, I feel like Tokoyami could just fucking kill all for one. Oh, he's reverted
Only a
further.
bully tries to solve their problems.
Is this him at his prime yet? Or was this last stage's prime? Fuck.
And surprisingly, each one.
Let's see how this plays.
They converted him? Hey, Kiroshima's finally...
Bastards.
Shinso!
Tokoyami, we brought you some help.
I didn't think about using Shinso on
Shortly after hearing
Gigantomachia.
that Dabi
Waiting for us.
Yeah, a lot. I feel like a lot of Class 1A is probably here.
Stand in our way.
We can't let them wake that giant pain in the butt. I don't want to see him up and fighting. He's devastated people across the world.
Yeah, he's killed like millions of people.
He's a walking symbol of emotional trauma.
That was one of the worst things I've ever heard.
He's a walking symbol of emotional trauma.
Do not have the characters internally refer to their own mental state. Just don't. Much less exposit exactly what they're thinking about the thing that's causing them that feeling. Either show it, have someone else reference it about that character, or show it. That was some Attack on Titan Season 4, oh, you hit your head, let me recap the entirety of what's going on with us right now. That's worse, but that's what that felt like.
The strong are the ones who bear righteous authority.
Mina's squirked work for that. Not Kirishima, though.
Max output.
Oh, God.
I had Bakugo and Todoroki teach me some of their intense training techniques. I want to protect what's important to me. This time.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
You saved me.
So I understand fear.
Is she
It's that
turning
same weakness
white?
that makes me form strong bonds, and that's how your side works too, isn't it? That's one thing we all have in common.
We are your.
Okay. For those who aren't aware or don't understand why my opinion of the show just went from the highest it's been in a while to the lowest it's ever been, even in comparison to the Shoji episode. Let's actually look it up real quick. Is Mina considered a heteromorph? A person who has noticeably non-human physical characteristics which are permanent, whether related to their quirk or not. That could be major, obviously non-human traits like Spinner's lizard features, or it could be something less major like Mina's appearance. Okay, so Mina is still considered a heteromorph. They are making her human. Heteromorphs are the racism allegory. They are making one of the victims of the racism allegory into not. This is literally the equivalent of a black character turning white. People in the MHA subreddit are saying people are mad that Mina is being whitewashed since people think she's black-coded. I'm sure some people do have a problem with that, but that is not what the problem is. People are focusing on the idea of her turning white when she's black-coded. That is not the issue. The issue is her being a heteromorph. I do not care if the idea is that for some reason her acid turns her skin pink. She's still a heteromorph. And why would it turn her skin pink? Why would using it up turn her white? Is it like a physical pigment that she's using? If that's the intent, the show has never made it clear that the idea behind it is that her body is pink because it's the color that is caused by her storing her acid. That doesn't even make sense. So I have mentioned in the... I have pointed out that Hagakure could technically count as a heteromorph as part of the heteromorphs that are in Class A. And I did not have a problem with her
turning visible, because I think that's a very different thing. I think she would be considered a heteromorph in the loosest possible terms. Mina is explicitly a heteromorph. She has unnatural pigment to her skin and improper sclera coloring, along with horns. That is explicitly non-human, and there's no way that she can disguise that in any way. She is just a heteromorph. The reason I'm bothered by this and not Hagakure, when I've mentioned before that Hagakure could technically count as a heteromorph, is Hagakure very loosely counts as a heteromorph because there's a very unclear definition of what the concept of a heteromorph is. By season 3, it was more confirmed that her power is more light bending than invisibility. And in terms of her actual human physical appearance, she actually looks like a human being, just with an anime design. Yeah, I think I take back calling her a heteromorph. That's not what her quirk is. I think a heteromorph has to be clearly non-human in their fundamental physical attributes. She is human, she is just invisible. So her being able to turn visible now isn't the same problem. This is just... It is explicitly racist, not because Mina is black-coded or whatever, but because heteromorphs are the allegory for racism. So turning a heteromorph normal, I mean, I kind of just said the problem outright. They turned her normal. That conveys the idea that heteromorphs aren't normal. They should not be seen as normal. They should be seen as something to cure. The worst part is they started this right. They had the right idea. The idea of her using her acid to such a strong degree that she scars herself. Just keep going with that. That's all you had to do. That makes the moment more impactful. This is one of the most enjoyable characters in this show, and this is the single worst moment in the entire show because of a stupid decision that doesn't even make any sense. When a minute prior they were doing something that was impactful and emotional and compelling. I was getting emotional when she was having her flashback with Midnight. This was an impactful scene, and one of the only times in the entire show when a female character has done something of note. Having her scar herself to either defeat or heavily injure Makia, that would be an incredibly impactful moment and a clearly heroic thing to do. If they had someone else deal with the sludge villain, well, she had to stall Makia until they could get Shinso out. That would have been one of the highlights of the season, if not the show. Makia has always been a massive threat, but he's not interesting. Having one of the side characters step up and do something legitimately, unbelievably impressive, with it still making sense and having permanent consequences for the character, that would be incredible. But no, make her white. That's what we should do instead. This show is the pinnacle of virtue signaling, because they have no idea what makes something actually racist or sexist. Because they keep doing things that are racist and sexist. And I mean, in terms of their LGBT handling, don't think a single LGB was ever confirmed or made very clear. And the two trans people, one of them died a brutal death and hasn't been mentioned since then, and the other one is never relevant, even though the group of characters that he's with are. Mandalay and Pixie Bob have been pretty recurring characters throughout this arc. Tiger has never appeared. The only show I can think of that's more blatantly virtue signaling is RWBY. And I think that's pretty goddamn clear, given the fact that when all the shit about Rooster Teeth was happening, one of the voice actors for Ruby, the one who voices Tyrion, she came out as trans and said that she wouldn't be working with Rooster Teeth. But, like, Ruby confirmed a lesbian ship and acted like that was their plan the entire time when, let me just look something up real quick. Oh, hey, look at that. We have 2 songs dedicated to the character who got in the lesbian ship with a guy. There are 2 love songs. 2! Fascinating. I'm sure they definitely plan to have her be in a lesbian relationship that entire time. Also, I'm pretty sure they added a non-binary character, and it was literally just like a small monster thing. Yeah, wasn't this the non-binary character? Ah, yes, and of course, this nameless character who showed up in like half of a scene, who they probably just said was non-binary on Twitter for the sole purpose of getting brownie points, while also treating, you know, minorities like shit in reality. Yeah, fuck Rooster Teeth.
They're so bad that I think I can tolerate this instead now. They made this look fucking good.
Kirishima, I'm glad I could pay you back.
I promise you never owed me anything. Don't you know you've always been my hero, dummy?
Fuck the ending. Gotta love that Mina's big moment amounted to beating the episode 1 villain.
Why did you leave me behind, Master?
Makia, my precious Colossus.
If they were going to have Maki have any kind of actual sentience, they should have shown that he was capable of it sooner.
I'm basically just along for the ride, as a safety measure.
I wonder if Shinso could work an All for One.
Villain's power.
I'll make sure they do. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. I'll report what happens. Their victory or their defeat. The more connected we are, the smaller the world becomes.
That's the most reference they could do to those characters. For those of you who didn't watch the movies, in that little montage, we just saw some of the major characters that appeared in those movies and then never again. We only saw Melissa, though. We didn't see David. And I feel like one of those moments might have been from the next movie, which isn't even out yet. And they don't even show, what was his name? I think it was Rhodey? I think Rhodey was his name. They don't even show him. They just showed his siblings. Moonfish? Where the fuck is Mineta? What? We haven't seen him here. What the fuck? I refuse to believe he gets Dark Shadow.
Fierce wings. Look what's become of it.
Fuck.
I commend you for lasting this long.
You think stealing Dark Shadow will help you? It'll just turn you into a cringy emo edgelord. If you want a real quirk.
If that ball doesn't come into play later, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
We still have hope.
Okay. That's it for now. No new episodes. That's the last one. But who's left? Shoto and Ida are still in the city, so if that's where All for One's going, that would explain why they're in the intro like that. I don't remember where Aoyama is in all this, but I'm pretty sure he's the only Class A student unaccounted for at this point. This episode felt like kind of a lazy excuse to just throw aside all the remaining Class 1A students. Hagakure's not appeared either. Ironic. But, like, a bunch of characters who didn't need to be present in all this just kind of got beaten up in this episode. Why was Kirishima there? Why was Mineta there? Why were the Class B students there? The girl who makes things big, like, sure, but a lot of the others, I don't know why they fucking came. And Mina didn't even really do all that much. She did one big attack, and apparently that wore her out entirely. It's not like she did a huge amount of damage to the Sludge Guy, she did a pretty basic attack. Like, it was one major attack on Makia, and that was all it took to pretty much take her out of the fight completely. They built up the Class 1A, like, doing stuff here. They built up 1A standing by Midoriya in this fight. And we are currently now at the place where 1A has done almost nothing this entire time. Bakugo is the only one who has done even a moderate amount of something. Shoto has only made things worse by teaching Dabi a new move. Like, Dabi's not even tired at this point. Ochako and Froppy have done nothing in terms of Toga yet. For how much they focus on Class 1A and their relationship with Deku, Deku's currently fighting Shigaraki alone. And all of Class 1A is pretty much taken out at this point. Keep having to look up the picture of them so I can make sure I get them all. Okay. Aoyama and Hagakure are missing in action. Mina, Kirishima, Mineta, Tokoyami, Bakugo are all taken out, pretty much. They're down for the count. Ojiro, Sero are also missing. Koda and Shoji are pretty much done. Their location is done. Sero, or what's his name? Sato, also not appeared so far. Froppy, Tenya, Uraraka, Denki, Jiro, Momo, Deku, Shoto are all still active. And in terms of who's still doing things, Jiro is on a battlefield where she's not going to be relevant. Froppy is there to assist Uraraka and exists for no other reason. Uraraka is about to confront Toga. Shoto and Ida are just fucking chilling, I guess. And Deku is the only one who's really doing anything, and he's be the main fucking character, so I'd be surprised if he wasn't. Denki, I can't remember what he did last. He's being swarmed by Twices, and that's it, I think. So, yeah, really meaningful that they had, like, several episodes at the end of last season focused on how Class A is going to stand by Deku in this fight. And they're going to matter, and they're going to fight all for one together. Even stuff like Dark Shadow, which absolutely should have done something to All for One. Like, even that's, like, nothing at this point. The fact that Dark Shadow, Makia, and Mount Lady were all fighting All for One at the same time and achieved nothing. The power scaling there is completely broken. Deku, where he was in Season 6, absolutely could not have taken Makia. Deku at the end of Season 6 probably still could not have taken Makia. Deku now would need Gear Shift, and even then, I'm not sure he can. Dark Shadow at that level of power, in Season 3, that was one of the most powerful things we'd ever seen. This was probably about double that, I would say, at least. And it did nothing. And Mount Lady was just a big woman with a wrench, so that's just kind of support in that regard. And All for One shrugged that stuff off with no issue. So the only way he's beaten at this point is if Deku fights him and stalls him so long that Rewind takes him out of existence. Like, that's the only way this is handled at this point. Because if Dark Shadow, stronger than he was in Season 3, can't do anything to All for One, no one can. Especially when he's working alongside Makia. Makia and Full Power Dark Shadow are two of the strongest things in the entire story, and they did nothing at all. We didn't even see All for One being injured. I know he rewound more, but we didn't even see major injuries on him. Shigaraki, I hate the power set. All for One, I hate the power scaling.